Okay, if you're just tuning in, I've got Dan Smith with Vail Mountain Rescue. We focused during the last segment about the hiker that was lost in Chaffee County for 3 days. All the teams came together. I think you said over 70
people.
70 people, all volunteer,
Yep.
showed up to make this happen. So let's continue with this story. You were talking briefly about, you know, the things that were right, the right decisions, the wrong decisions. So let's track that a little bit more.
The right decision is after he was lost, he kept his head, because we've seen people darn near panic and run in circles. That was about the only thing he did right. Wrong, let's start with how he got in trouble. He came up a mountain and reached the top in mid to late afternoon, walking into the sun. Instead of turning around and walking away from the sun to get out, which is what he thought he was doing, he walked another direction. So without a map, without a compass, without a GPS, he had an opportunity to make the right decision.
Right, understanding the sun, the direction of the sun,
if
where it sets.
Add the map and compass and GPS, of which he had none, he should have had those items. He would have gone back home fine and spent that night with his wife and family. So not having any way to tell where he was or what direction he was going, I mean, it's a critical mistake. You just have to get lucky, and at the end of the day, this guy should not go to Blackhawk. I mean, he's used all the luck he was issued, and it's not going to work out for him well in a casino from here on out.
Now, I'm going to interrupt. So he didn't have any of this gear with him for direction and coordinates or anything. Did he stay put, or did he venture? Which is probably another mistake, right?
That's mistake number 2. Instead of being lost and, okay, I don't know where I am, I've called my wife, she's going to miss me when I don't show up and get somebody to come look for me, I'm going to sit down and build a fire. That would have been the right answer. We probably would have found him Monday. He certainly wouldn't have burned all the energy he burned. He went darn near up the top of Mount Harvard, which is the one mountain west of where he was, because he thought he was climbing Missouri again. Okay. He almost hiked to the road, and then he found out he was in the wrong drainage. He hiked over 20 miles over a 3-day period.
He exerted a lot of energy.
Oh, which he had no way to replace.
Yeah.
The third thing is he had nothing with him to sustain him if something bad happens. If you go out Booth Falls over here, just 5-6 miles from here, and you get 2 miles from your house, and this is a walk you take every evening, and you break your ankle, you're not going anywhere. You're not walking out of there with a broken ankle. And it's now dark and nobody else is on the trail, and what do you do? So there's some things you take with you when you go out your door. You put them in a pack, you leave them in the pack, and we're going
to do that,
yeah,
because you're sticking around for another
one
interview.
More.
But you brought basically a simple pack that takes up no space.
Nope.
And it can save your life. There's a lot of good stuff in there that you need to have that you can pick up generally anywhere.
It's in your garage, it's in your pantry. There's a couple things in there you might have to buy. Yeah. Matches usually don't have laying around. But the navigation, the maps, the compass, the GPS, these are things you don't leave home without them.
Right.
It's just we're not in a forgiving climate, and you don't want to get out there like this gentleman did and find yourself where you don't know where you are. We also worked very heavily with Air Force Rescue Coordination Center. They ran cell phone forensics on this guy a lot for us, and since his phone had died, what happens, you have your phone, you have it in an outside pocket. It gets really cold, your phone shuts off because it's too cold. It senses the temperature. You might have a lot of battery, but it's turned off because it's too cold. We worked one on Booth Creek Friday night, and a woman just went for a walk with nothing with her and got lost. We worked one Saturday night, Sunday morning of 2 hikers up on Holy Cross, and the one guy was late coming down off the cross. The 2 separated, always a bad decision, and his cell phone died. Well, about 4 in the morning, since we'd alerted AFRCC, his cell phone came back on, and they knew it. Gotcha. And they knew exactly where he was. Talked to him a couple of times by text. He was in good shape. He had gear. He knew what he was doing. He built the fire. He judged his times wrong, which can happen to anyone.
Right. Okay.
And he walked out.
Okay, we're going to take a break. I got weather coming up. We're going to get back with Dan. We're going to dig inside that bag and see what's in there that can save your life. We'll be right back.